Try MHP's new IsoFast 50, the fastest, best-tasting whey protein isolate on the market. Order now at mhpstrong.com.
I held it and I said, you know what? They will call me out with the first call-out guys. They will call me out and compare me to them. And I just kept telling myself that. They are going to call me out with the first group. I'm just going to stand here and wait and hold it tight and hold it strong, and they will call me out.
Victor Martinez at the 2011 Arnold Classic, adding newfound mental techniques to his already formidable physique, refuses to give up when passed over for the first call-out.
It wasn't just the training in the gym, it wasn't just the dieting. I was still fighting mentally and, emotionally on that stage.
This chapter of the story of how one of the elite bodybuilders in the world today is digging his way back up from misfortune and defeat begins here in a hospital bed in Brooklyn, New York. In the heart of the Hasidic community of Borough Park, Brooklyn, lies Maimonides Medical Center. Here, Oscar Arden is recuperating from surgery to repair the torn tendon he sustained from a fall on the ice while in the midst of training Victor Martinez for the 2011 Arnold Classic. Rather than get the surgery he needed, Oscar postponed it so that he could complete the training and accompany Victor to Columbus for the competition. Now that the Arnold Classic has passed, I find Oscar here in his hospital bed, a bit weary from painkillers, but otherwise coherent. I ask him if seeing each other nearly every day for over 3 months taught him anything about Victor Martinez, the man.
He's a genuinely good person, and I'm very proud to call him my friend, because in the time that you take to prepare someone for a show, it becomes somewhat personal. You see them on a daily basis. You get to see their moods, their attitude change. And Victor always seemed cool under pressure. Never did he skip a training session. Never did he say, I can't do this or I can't eat that. He would do his best, and that told me a lot of character, how much he wanted this. So when I have someone that has the ability to push it, it motivates me to give it more. And that's why when my quad tendon tore and I knew how much this competition meant to his career, I didn't want to use that as an excuse. I can't train you, okay, you're on your own until I heal, because I know that he needed my assistance.
Over in New Jersey, I catch up with Victor at his Muscle Maker Grill. He has similar praise for Oscar.
Getting to know him, I think he's great. I mean, us working together again, it was great. Patient, determined, and very passionate about what he does. And it was, great experience.
In a very short time, this camaraderie grew into a trust that eventually produced a third-place finish at the Arnold Classic. It was not the win they had been looking for, but both men had to admit that it definitely signaled a change of direction for Martinez. After his 8th place finish at the 2010 Olympia, Victor felt as if he had lost his enthusiasm for bodybuilding. In his words, he felt like his spirit had been broken.
How I did in the Olympia and what I brought to the table, yes, I didn't think that was the best I brought in, but in the back of my mind I was like, or is it? If this is my best, then what, or if this is all I can pull out of me, it's like, man, it's nothing really to look forward to. So working with Oscar and pushing as much as he did in such a short time, and what we brought out, it's like I knew what I could expect even further down the road.
I know he was able to fall in love back with preparation and sport, as opposed to looking at it as a tedious, as a job. He was able to enjoy the process. Yes, granted, when I look back, we can do things better the last week, drying out. But Branch took third last year and he won this year, so we took third our first time working together.
This renewed enthusiasm manifested itself not only in an increased vigor in the gym and a heightened attention to his diet, but also as a more positive mindset. I'm sure it comes as no surprise to those who are familiar with Oscar from my videos with Kai Green that his main objective with Victor, beyond the obvious help with food and exercise, would be to instill in him the positive mindset that Oscar believes is the essential component of all winners.
I think more than anything, it was a mental prep as far as being able to believe in himself again. He competed in competitions that he took 8th or 6th, and you can see not that he was beaten by inferior bodybuilders, but he defeated himself by not being at his best. So as a result, he lost to other bodybuilders that were not at his level.
Oscar felt certain that this, more than anything else, would be the foundation of the success of Victor's comeback. Like so many of Oscar's pupils before him, Victor kept a journal. He read the books. He listened to the recordings. And it paid off. Compared to what most people considered to be Victor's peak form in 2007, his appearance on the Arnold stage in March was far superior. But the most obvious manifestation of his newly acquired power of positive thought came at a difficult moment during the Arnold Classic prejudging. It was after the solo mandatories, during the lineup, the moment of truth, the first call-out.
The first call out with 3 competitors, and he wasn't in the first call out. That's an early warning for me that something's off.
I know I had bought something. I know I did. And when the first call out was called, I did not flush like I did for the Olympia.
6 months previous, when Victor was passed over at the Olympia, his mind leaped ahead, and he immediately began planning how he was going to improve himself for next time.
Before the night show is even over, I'm already thinking about the Arnold, thinking about the changes I'm going to make, thinking how strong I'm going to come in.
It was an admirable testament to his warrior spirit. But in a way, this kind of thinking is akin to an admission of defeat. Now, in Columbus, reinforced with positive thought and the knowledge that he had done his homework, things would be different.
I held it and I said, you know what, they will call me out with the first call-out guys. They will call me out and compare me to them. And I just kept telling myself that. They are going to call me out with the first group. I'm just going to stand here and wait and hold it tight and hold it strong, and they will call me out.
He said to me, when I was on stage and I didn't get the first call out, I was just about to get pissed off when I said, that's a negative thought. I'm going to get into that first call out. I'm going to get with those guys, and I'm going to compare right with them.
I just stand here, and I will wait until they call me out with them and they compare me with them.
That's what I mean about the mental aspect. In the past, he would have been, okay, I guess I didn't make the first call out, I'll be in the second call out. But he willed himself in his mind. He's like, I'm going to make myself be there. That's what he told me, and he did.
After a second and a third call-out, the athletes from the first call-out are brought back to center stage. This time, Victor is with them.
Victor Martinez.
It wasn't just the training in the gym, it wasn't just the dieting every day, the whole 12 weeks, but the fighting was still there on that stage, and I was still fighting. It wasn't the 400-pound squat for 20 reps. It was still there. I was still fighting mentally, emotionally on that stage. I could have easily doubted. I mean, I could have doubted, finishing the last 10 minutes of cardio, I could have easily doubted, the last 5 reps like I did many times, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to finish up the last reps. And so definitely the whole doubt thing, I didn't bring that with me. I was like, I'm not going to bring it,
I'm going to get into that first call out. I'm going to get with those guys, and I'm going to compare right with them. And he goes, that's just what happened. I made it, and I was so proud. And that to me, just, that's a work that we did together that he wasn't able to show before. So that's little changes that are adding to our prep as we go along. And I think that was great.
Bolstered by his continued collaboration with Oscar Arden, Victor Martinez is fighting his way back up from the devastation of the Olympia. Third place at the Arnold Classic is only a stepping stone to greater things, but his performance in Columbus seems to be a good indication that his star could be on the rise again.
Getting ready for the Arnold again, it was a whole lift of spirit, a whole lift of courage and drive, and the whole hunger of training again. And yes, I did not get first, but I know I'm climbing right back up the ladder. And you usually never want to reach the bottom again, but it has happened in many careers in bodybuilding that I have seen. It has happened, and unless you reach deep down inside for that extra, ball of guts and energy, it's just not going to happen again.
I know. I'm very good at physiques, looking at physiques. I know that I can get his skin tighter and drier. It wasn't a matter of, oh, he's got to get much bigger like Ronnie. No, we're not going to try to play the size game as much as we're going to make improvements in certain areas of the body and get him denser, thicker, grainier, and it's spot-on condition. And when that happens, he's someone that I think anybody in the IFBB needs to fear.
Currently, Victor is taking a little time off, spending time with his family and touring Europe. When he returns, the training begins anew for the Olympia, and MHP will be there to continue to chronicle this inspiring comeback story.
The Olympia is definitely the ultimate goal. Yes, it is, To do any other shows, yeah, you could win, you could get first, but, not to diminish the value. It's just, at this point in my career, those are the two that you want. You heard Brian say it, So he wanted the Arnold and ultimately the Olympia. And that's my goal as well.
MHP scientists have raised the bar with the development of NO-Bomb, the first ever formula to use a full clinical dose of the patented pharmaceutical compound glycocarn. Glycocarn boosts nitric oxide levels better than arginine, better than AAKG, to help trigger far greater pumps and increased muscle growth. Take your pumps, muscle growth, and workout performance to a whole new level with the most advanced nitric oxide formula ever created. Go nuclear with NO-Bomb. To get instant updates on all my video projects, subscribe to the Gato MJP YouTube page or become a Mike Pulsanella Facebook friend. The Victor Martinez story is made possible by MHP Bodybuilding Supplements.